So it's April on the farm and we are gearing up for planting day, which is coming in about 5 weeks. So today we are fixing the irrigation. We are tilling and putting down landscape fabric on some of the rows that didn't have last year. And I'm excited to show you the cottage garden where I planted so many tulips and daffodils and they're in bloom. So let's get over there and I'll show you. Okay, so here's the cottage garden and you can see that the tulips and the daffodils are in bloom and it looks really pretty. I'm going to show you some close-ups. Okay, so don't mind the mess back here. This is what I'm doing today, is cleaning up. The arbors broke from last season, but let's look at the really pretty, the tulips and the daffodils that are in full bloom back here. All right, look at how pretty, guys. So pretty, my tulips, my daffodils. Let's see this side, look at how pretty. It looks really nice. Oh, I have some double tulips over there I'm going to show you. I mean some double daffodils. Look at how pretty. The double right there. Really cute. It came out really cute. So I just wanted to explain to you guys why we're no-till. No-till is better for the soil because it keeps the good things in the first 6 inches of the soil. So every year that you don't till, you improve the soil. But we also do it because we don't have a tractor to till. So we kind of we're doing this because we didn't have the supplies to till every year, but it's actually helping out the farm. So let me just show you why we like to not till and just leave the plants to next season. Look at how easy it is to pull these plants once it's the spring and they're dead. So these come out so easily. So we just pull them like this and then we throw them in the rows like that. And then my husband goes over with the mower and just kind of, he wood chips it and it just like kind of goes back into the ground. So we don't have to throw anything out, bag it. It just goes right back into the grass. So that's what we've been doing. And then we will be ready to plant back in. So that's what I'm going to be doing now, is just taking up this row, the next row, and then once I have that row up, my husband will be tilling that row, just because it's the one section that never got landscape fabric because we ran out of time. And we had the zinnias there, and without the landscape fabric, even with weeding, the zinnias turn out very small. The nutrients, they don't get as many nutrients because the weeds take over. So this year I'm like, I want to put down the landscape fabric there because for 2 years we've just been so busy. So we're hoping that that gets done today. My husband's back there. He's fixing the irrigation every year. There's always, you got to fix something with the irrigation. So he has the parts. We're going to fix it. And this year the irrigation is going to be on landscape fabric, not in the middle of all the weeds. In the summer when he goes to fix something, it's just overgrown grass. It's hard to cut in there. So this year we decided we're going to put landscape fabric down just to put the whole irrigation system on so that it's not a big giant mess and you can't get to it. So easily accessible. So I'll show you that in a second. Okay, so I got a lot of the plants up and this section here is giving me a hard time. It's fighting a little bit. So I was trying to think of what plant this was because it's a little bit harder to pull out than the other ones, and it's the Verbena. So the Verbena is giving me the most trouble. It's really, when I'm pulling it out, it's really rooted in the ground. So it's not a perennial, not that I believe. I think I looked that up, and I don't see any growth. So it's just really, it's like, I'm gonna show you when I pull it up. You see how hard this is to pull? It's like really stuck. When you pull it, its roots are really in there. Look at that. You know, I'm looking in there and I see growth from it. I don't know if that actually is. Maybe I shouldn't pull this. Let me see. Okay, so bear with me, but this is the growth that's coming out. And if you can see it over here, that is it. And you know what? I'm looking on every one of them, and I'm really seeing a lot of growth. This is really exciting. So yeah, when I'm looking close up, this is why I couldn't pull it out of the ground. Those roots are really in there, and it has perennialized, which is super exciting. Okay, so as a gardener, this is an exciting moment because I just had a 50-foot row of perennialized Verbena, which saved, I mean, next year it's gonna save me. I ordered Verbena, so I'm gonna have to figure out where to put it. I will probably put it in my cottage garden. Maybe I'll put some more here. This is really exciting, guys. So if you've grown Verbena before and you're in zone 7, I'd really like to know if yours have perennialized, because mine did. So I will stop pulling these Verbena plants. Good thing I only pulled like 5 or 6, and I was like, I'm giving up. I'll let my husband pull them too hard. But good thing I checked it out. All right, so Verbena check. This is awesome. Okay, so I may have found another flower that perennialized. I don't see a lot of them, but I see a couple of them. So I wanted to point out, and this flower I actually also thought was not a perennial, but in zone 7 and higher, with a mild winter, which we had a very mild winter, it will perennialize. So this, I believe, is status coming back here. And I'm just going to show you what it looks like in the ground. Unless you guys think it's a weed, but I think that this is status. So I don't see a lot of them. I'm actually going to use my app just to take a picture of it and see if it thinks that those leaves are status. I think that they are. And if it did come back 1, 2, 3, 4, it's probably only like 10 of them came back, and I wasn't going to regrow them this year because in our area the weed pressure is so high that even with weeding, they tend to do the worst on my farm. So I didn't get a big flush from them. They get overtaken by the weeds. So, I mean, I'm not probably gonna rip out a good plant, but we're not regrowing them. But interestingly enough, I think they did come back. So I'm gonna use my app now to see if that actually is status or a weed, but I think it is. So I'm gonna let you know. Okay, so in this row, you can see that the Rudbeckias are coming back. And you know, this is like last year. If you look down, this is a whole row of Rudbeckias. So this is what happened last year. You can see the nice growth here, and then in spots like this there isn't any growth. Actually, if you look close here, you might find some. So you know, I'm growing more to fill this in, but yeah, in hopes that, I think last year I probably had a 50% return rate on them. Look at how nice and healthy this one is, really big. So we'll see what happens. It's nice to always see some coming back. Okay guys, so things got crazy at the farm as usual, so I have to finish this video at home. So those were the plants that were growing back and perennialized on my farm. They were the Rudbeckia, status, and the big winner was the Verbena. So that was really exciting. We did not finish the irrigation, and what else we did? We did till up a little bit of that row of the zinnias to put the landscape fabric, but we have not put the landscape fabric down on it yet. So as usual, things take way longer than expected, and usually 2 to 3 times to finish all of it. So that's the update of the April tour of the farm. And soon it will be May, and my plants are coming along. I was speaking to the girl, the farmer who's growing all my little seedlings, and she said everything is going well. She said there was one little problem with the gomphrena in one of the varieties, so we planted a different one, but everything else is going well. So I'm excited for everything that's upcoming on the season. So I will update you guys again if we do more work on the farm, which we always are doing. We got our tractor fixed. Actually, it wasn't starting the last half of the season. The person we bought it from is nice enough to come back and fix it for us when things break. So that's amazing. When you meet amazing people who are willing to help you. Yeah, pay them too, but still, even if they're willing to help you, paying them is great. All right, guys, I will see you soon.